Um, Jennifer Lawrence is one of today's bold actresses who isn't afraid to tackle demanding roles. Um, Famous for her performances in major franchises and critically acclaimed dramas that earn her Oscars, Lawrence recently caught attention with her powerful portrayal of a mother grappling with postpartum depression in the movie titled. Um, this film was shown at the Cannes Film Festival in May 2025. Interestingly, delving into the intricacies of motherhood is not uncharted territory for Lawrence. All the way back in 2017, she took on a challenging role in Darren Aronofsky's thought-provoking film. Darren Aronofsky is a filmmaker who excels at crafting movies that take viewers on a surreal psychedelic voyage through his work with films like, and he has built an impressive body of unique storytelling in his filmography. Uh, so when the comedian action star signed up to work with Aronofsky in 2017, it sparked intrigue among fans. Um, Although did not initially resonate with audiences, Aronofsky's movie, featuring Lawrence as its central figure, offered a compelling and sometimes uncomfortable perspective on creation, anxiety, and the consequences of life spiraling out of control. Um, and Mother is a wild ride uh, about creating things and watching them fall apart in crafting films that resonate deeply with audiences. This director frequently subjects his characters to intense ordeals, and the movie is a prime example of this approach. Although it's rich in symbolism, themes, and underlying messages, one message that stands out prominently is the exploration of creation and destruction. From the start of the film, we witness a woman ablaze, and later him places a radiant white crystal into a stand, instantly transforming a gloomy, dismal dwelling into a vibrant, lively space, not into taking one person from 14 times. And a young woman, simply identified as Mother, stirs from slumber. Uh, she's lovingly renovating an enchanting, secluded old country house for her elderly husband, a renowned poet, referred to as him. Uh, the mother is brimming with elegance, tranquility, and unwavering devotion to craft an Eden-like haven for him who's grappling with writer's block. And one of the initial peculiar yet revealing aspects the film presents is Mother's bond with the house itself. When she caresses certain walls, she senses a pulsating life with all, or occasionally, a spreading malady, symbolically linking her own emotions directly to the house's health. With In a tranquil and almost ethereal scene, um, the serenity is quickly shattered when a stranger claiming to be a doctor, but later identified as an admirer of hymn's poetry, enters the sanctuary maintained by Mother. Um, um, Despite Mother's apprehensions and her need for solitude, him who craves external affirmation and attention uh, welcomes the stranger warmly, uh, and subsequently, the abrasive and overfamiliar wife of the stranger woman intrudes without invitation, causing further chaos in Mother's meticulously structured environment. Aronofsky's camera persistently follows Lawrence, often focusing on her from behind or directly on her face, allowing viewers to experience her mounting discomfort and sense of losing control. These unwelcome guests settle in comfortably, and as I sat down to pen my thoughts on this film, I found myself reflecting on the chaotic intrusion of unwelcome visitors. Uh, these interlopers seemed oblivious to decorum, puffing away in forbidden corners and carelessly handling treasured items, such as him's precious crystal in his study, causing distress not only to the mother, but also to the very soul of the house itself. The arrival of two sons, Domhnall and Brian Gleeson, brought a biblical undertone reminiscent of Cain and Abel, their tumultuous confrontation culminating in a murderous skirmish within her living room. A Gracie and Paper and Prime Minister. This grim act marked the beginning of Mother's endless worry. Um, um, for a brief respite, Mother experienced a period of tranquility when she found herself pregnant, as if her home regained its sacred aura. However, this sanctuary was short-lived, as hymn's devoted followers, incessantly growing in number, systematically invaded Mother's safe haven following the completion of a new creation inspired by her pregnancy. The peace was shattered, and Mother's anxiety knew no bounds. Mother, with the turns intimacy into isolation and worship into violation, in Mother, viewers resonate deeply with its profound metaphors about deities, nature, and mankind's destructive tendencies. However, what particularly strikes a chord is its exaggerated portrayal of the fears and apprehensions associated with pregnancy and new motherhood. As Mother progresses through her pregnancy, her longing for tranquility and dominion over her home intensifies, but the intrusions only worsen. As a cinephile, I can relate to the protagonist's plight in this film. It feels like strangers are always invading my personal space, sharing unwanted advice, and dismissing my requests. My home, my sanctuary, has transformed into a bustling public arena. And when I assert my authority by saying, "This is my house," these guests ridicule me, labeling me delusional. Ridicule, the blast. Saying the name of Adves private, that is blast. While this narrative may seem extreme, it echoes the genuine struggle many new parents face in preserving their personal space, autonomy, and control over their lives. A fan's review captures this sentiment beautifully. This tale resonates with anyone who has ever had their boundaries disregarded or been violated. In this rephrased version, the text might read, "His husband often puts the needs of his followers before her own welfare," a pattern that some spectators found reminiscent of being in an unhealthy or self-centered relationship. His soft words, such as, "They simply want to see the baby," or "They admire us," while she continually asks for privacy with him, can be seen as a form of psychological manipulation. As the situation grows increasingly hazardous, resembling gaslighting, and the movie also resonates with tales of female imprisonment and mental turmoil, similar to The Yellow Wallpaper or other works. In this film, the character of Mother is largely confined to the house, and director Aronofsky skillfully depicts that when she attempts to flee her mounting madness, him subtly guides her back indoors with a sense of tender control. As her desperation and isolation intensify, even amidst a crowd, it powerfully portrays the disintegration of an individual on the brink as their reality is invaded. The movie doesn't hesitate to address the possibility that creativity can give rise to a distinctive type of psychological confinement, a theme that Lawrence addresses differently in a work like Die My Love. Um, During a chat with Lawrence, touched upon the feminist aspects of Mother. This stating the film's connection to stories of female confinement and mental distress is similar to works like The Yellow Wallpaper or other pieces. In this movie, Mother is primarily trapped within the house, and Aronofsky effectively shows that when she endeavors to break free from her escalating madness, heading back inside with a gentle, almost affectionate touch, the growing desperation and isolation of Mother, even amidst a crowd, vividly illustrates the disintegration of an individual on the verge as their world is violated. The movie doesn't flinch from examining the potential for creation to result in a unique form of psychological siege, a theme Lawrence explores differently in projects like D Level, My Love. And I think that during a discussion with the Lawrence spoke about the feminist aspects of Mother, stating Jennifer Lawrence brings vulnerability to Mother with intensity, regardless of the chaotic or symbolic nature of Jennifer Lawrence's portrayal ensures that it remains grounded in genuine human emotion. Directed by Aronofsky, Lawrence's performance as Mother immerses you in every step of her journey, from tranquil optimism to heart-wrenching collapse. In the initial scenes, Lawrence beautifully depicts Mother's profound affection for him and her meticulous efforts to transform their home into a sanctuary. However, as her life is disrupted, Lawrence masterfully portrays Mother's evolution. Her initial concerns subtly escalate into palpable anxiety, then into genuine fear, and ultimately into a fierce protective rage. In the movie, Lawrence dominates most of the screen time, with approximately 2/3 of the film featuring her character in solitude or seclusion. This indicates that the role was quite demanding for her. The story follows Lawrence's character, who progresses from affectionately decorating walls to frantically protecting her newborn son from the violent crowd of him's followers. This journey is intense and emotionally wrenching. The film's memorable ending, where her baby is taken by him, displayed to his followers, inadvertently killed, and then horrifyingly consumed, forces Lawrence to tap into a nearly unbearable level of emotional pain as an actress. Previously, Aronofsky expressed his intention for this film to embody a raw, rebellious spirit, creating an experience that would leave viewers feeling disturbed, frightened, and trembling. Notably, much like the masterpieces crafted by his cinematic idols, Hitchcock, Polanski, Neil Bergman, beyond its storyline, it's this intense journey that makes it indelible in our minds, and fully reveals the director's artistic intentions. And the movie was intentionally designed to be challenging and unsettling to watch, and it's equally difficult to shake off its impact. Director Darren Aronofsky aimed to provoke and delve deep into viewers' psyches. interpretations of the film vary. Some see it as a biblical parable, an ecological warning, a critique on celebrity, or a profound exploration of toxic relationships. Its strength lies in its intense psychological horror, which resonates powerfully with fears surrounding creation and motherhood.